Fans, this is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I have a pretty late post fight video for Gennady Golovkin versus Kell Brook. Um, I'm surprised on how well Kell Brook did in the first couple rounds. I didn't expect that. Um, Brook is one tough motherfucker. Honestly, he can take a punch. Having that type of injury where your orbital bone is broken in the first round and you're able to survive and end the fight on your feet, even though the towel was thrown in, I mean, he wasn't knocked down. And he ate a lot of huge punches from a middleweight, biggest puncher in the middleweight division. And he showed a lot of heart. Uh, Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing this fight again because, yeah, Gennady Golovkin was winning the fight, and he wasn't winning the fight. I'm sorry, scratch that. He was landing the bigger punches. Kell Brook was winning the rounds. And it was obvious that the bigger punches, the heavier punches were being thrown by Golovkin, but there just weren't enough being landed in the rounds for him to win. You know, Kell Brook was ahead on the scorecards for good reason. He was landing a lot of punches and in combination, and he was stealing rounds, and he looked great. He looked great. But Golovkin's power was just too much for Brook's face. I mean, um, one thing I noticed though is that Gennady Golovkin isn't the type of, I mean, with all the power that he has, he's not the type of fighter to knock out his opponent clean. There's all his knockouts have either been stoppage by referees or the fighter quits or the corner stops the fight. I rarely see Golovkin put someone to sleep. Um, he just, I don't know what it is about his punch. Maybe these guys they quit before it gets to that point where they're knocked out. But um, I don't know. It's just something I noticed. Golovkin's a fucking monster, and I honestly I see him beating all the other middleweights. I see tough fights in front of him, but they may not come from the current champions at middleweight division. Um, he's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. And a lot of people are trying to use this fight as if he was exposed in some way. In a way that you would be exposed if you lost a fight. It's wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Hopes and dreams for a lot of people. But that just wasn't the case in this fight. If you really want to see Golovkin exposed, there has to be someone that beats him. And, really what we saw here was Kell Brook put out, just a tremendous effort and put on a show. And he did very well. He could possibly deserve a rematch if that's acceptable. Honestly, what happened? Did he break his did did his face break because Golovkin is just so much bigger than him, so much stronger than him, that it was just something that was bound to happen, an injury like that, getting hit by someone so much bigger than you? Or was it a freak accident, something that can happen in any fight? Who knows? So, who knows? Golovkin right now, I think what he's going to do is he's going to do what he's been doing past couple fights, which is waiting until maybe announcing a few opponents, and then changing the opponents until last minute. He gets an opponent that will pay him um, a good amount of money and get him, exposure. I'm hoping, and I know that's wishful thinking, but I'm hoping that it's Canelo. And if it's not going to be the Canelo fight, and that's all up to Canelo at this point, but if it's not that, um, I don't know. I'd like to see Daniel Jacobs in there. To be honest, I think he'd be a fun fight to watch against Golovkin. I see Golovkin winning that fight, but Jacobs is a power puncher, and who knows? Who knows? He surprised everyone with finishing off Kid Chocolate, in the first round. Who knows? He's a big puncher. So, this was a good fight. This was honestly a good fight. What do you guys think? Would you want to see this fight again? Um, what do you guys think of Kell Brook's performance? And what do you think about Gennady Golovkin's performance? Was he exposed, or did Kell Brook just show that he's a top competitor, um, and a world class fighter? I don't know. This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.